play for DGA. I'm on the ambassador team. I'm also a proud member of the Salt Lake City Tunnel Runners, and I happen to be the president right now, which is a huge honor for me. I'm Alex Covey, and today we are reviewing the DGA Quake. It's something that I really go to in conditions like we've got today, where we're kind of getting hit with a straight 15 to 20 mile an hour wind, sometimes getting gusts that feel like they're getting closer to 25. In those kind of circumstances, it's, you know, even if I'm in tournament play, that's when I'm going to start thinking about just dialing it down and just trying to stay on the fairway, keep out of trouble. And I think the Quake is a super good disc for that. So its flight numbers are 5303. So it's going to have, you know, a little bit of glide, but not so much that it's going to get away from you. It also has a really nice strong finish at the end, so in no wind conditions you can really count on a lot of movement. For me, I'm left-handed, so I get that strong left to right, or if I'm throwing it on a forehand, I'm going to get that nice sweep to the left. So it's really good for utility shots. My favorite plastic is going to be the Pro line. I really like this because when I get hot, it tends to grip a little bit better, and when it gets hot, it gets nice and tacky, and I really like that grip. The SP is also a fantastic plastic to go in. It's definitely a little bit more slick, but the stability holds up really nice, and you really get these nice pretty colors with the SPs. These guys are really bright pink. The D-line, super excited about it because you get the really nice tacky and kind of soft feel of the D-line plastic. And then straight out of the box, these things are just super reliable, a little bit less stable, but still a nice reliable fade. As they beat in, they do tend to get a little bit flippier for me. Some people, it might help you push that extra little bit of distance. For me, when they beat in, that's when I kind of use it to level out my kitchen table and just go pull out another one. At Ledgestone, what year was this? Yeah, it's 2020 Ledgestone. It's a special blend granite, and they just look so stinking good. I honestly, I never throw them just because I want it to stay as pretty as possible. For me, it feels like these guys kind of fly the same as the D-line. I haven't beat one in to see what it does really, but again, it's just nice and straight, nice finish in the end, really torque resistant. So today out in the field we were throwing the Bobcat kind of as a comparison, which I had never thrown the Bobcat before, but I think the overall profile of the disc, it's still got that really nice flat top, it's got kind of a nice blunt shoulder to it, and the depth of the rim feels really nice. So I would say they're actually a pretty good straight across comparison. For me, I was noticing that the Quake, and it could just be a trust thing for me, but I trusted my Quake to really finish back, so I had, you know, I felt like I could trust it on a flat throw into that headwind a little bit more and watch it fight back. But the Bobcat, yeah, pretty similar, I'd say. Another decent comparison, I think, is the Discraft Buzz OS. My experience with the Buzz OS is pretty similar to the Quake. I would say the Quake is a touch more overstable, which I like. If you've thrown the Buzz OS, you've probably thrown something fairly similar to the Quake there. The Quake just kind of consistently delivers exactly what I expect it to bring. If you haven't thrown a Quake, you really owe it to yourself to try. bass lines right out of the box, they're still pretty stable, but they beat up quick and then they get to be actually almost flippy. So they haven't really found a good spot in my bag, but.
When they get flippy, do they still hold the chunk of low speed fade, or does that beat out of them?
They do, yeah, but it's just kind of awkward because I just don't know what slot that fills, you know? They just kind of become something different to me.
So I kind of feel like I'm having a similar thing to what you just described happen with the Bobcats I've been throwing, where these premium, I don't know what this plastic is called for the Bobcats, but like at first I was like, oh, these are beefcakes, they're so consistent. And then when I started ripping on them near, you know, full power, they actually have a fair bit of turn at high speed. And I'm like, okay, you know, they still, like, as soon as they start slowing down, they dump hard. But it's made me question my decision, like, is that the slot I thought it filled?
See, and for me, the Quake, like, I don't rip on my Quakes typically, you know, like it's not something I'm trying to carry distance with. It's what I throw when it's really windy or I want a lot of movement, but it's usually in the 200 foot range or even kind of below.
So yeah, then that's for me to get that movement I just described from the Bobcat. I'm trying to throw them like 300 feet. Or 10, 320, something like that.
Yeah, for me, like 300 is like pushing it for me with the Quake. I mean, I can get them there, but in order to get it there, it's so much work that it just doesn't seem worth it to me.
So you're probably, in that scenario, instead of picking the Quake, you're going to...
I'm going to a fairway. It's a Quake, you know, I mean, for somebody like me, before I threw DGA, I threw the Justice a good bit, and what I liked about that was that just total utility feel. I can, you know, as a super duper novice forehand player, I could just crank over them and they would always fight back. And if I was in crazy wind conditions, again, you could just always count on it to do what it did. The thing that I like about the Quake over the Justice is just the distance I can get. For me, the Justice just didn't really want to go very far for me at my arm speed, and so the Quake kind of helps me push that 275, 300 line or even above, you know, when I need it to. But it still has that nice, strong overstability. DGA, we keep a pretty limited line of molds. It's kind of the shtick that we got is simplify your game, which is something I really resonate with. And the Quake, it's that nice overstable mid-range shot. Get yourself out there, grab a Quake, and just see what it does for you.
Thanks, cool. Man.
Yeah, thank you, dude. This was fun. That's fair. This is why Noelle dresses me in the morning.